Betty Davis once said, "Growing old is no place for sissies." The Pensacola Saenger Theatre, known as the Grande Dame of Palafox Place, has certainly taken that quote to heart, growing old with grace and style. This crown jewel of downtown Pensacola was designed by New Orleans architect Emile Weil, who also designed theaters in Mobile, New Orleans, and in Shreveport. The Saenger Theatre began her life under the expert hands of the C.H. Turner Construction Company at a cost of $500,000. The steel girder used to support her balcony was the biggest built in Florida at the time, measuring 70 feet in length, 8 feet in height, and 1 1/2 feet in width. She was built with bricks taken from the old Opera House, which was built in 1882 and demolished in 1917. The Saenger's balcony is still adorned with the rail taken from that piece of Pensacola's long ago past. The Saenger Theatre, with its opulent Spanish Baroque style of architecture, began her long and lustrous career on April 2, 1925, with the showing of Cecil B. DeMille's movie, The Ten Commandments. This grand opening then led her to try her stage out on vaudeville. Things were going well for this sophisticated young lady. And then World War II gripped the nation. People hungry for news from across the world filled the theater 24 hours a day to watch newsreels about the war. When CinemaScope was introduced in 1952, the theater's box seats were removed so she could accommodate the larger motion picture screens. Then the Saenger began to suffer the fate of other great movie palaces and hit hard times. During the 1970s, downtowns across the country suffered a crisis as businesses moved to the new malls and shopping centers springing up on the outskirts of their towns. Pensacola was no different. The Grande Dame became strictly a movie theater and then an adult theater. Finally, she shut down. But all was not lost. ABC Southeastern Theaters donated the aging edifice to the city of Pensacola, who, along with the University of West Florida, began a major renovation to return her to her original splendor. In 1976, the Saenger was listed in the National Register of Historic Places. In 1981, this down but not out lady reopened to a gala event, complete with the sounds of the Duke Ellington Orchestra. Since her grand reopening, the Saenger Theatre has played host to 2.5 million patrons and thousands of shows. Audiences have been entertained by everything from Broadway to ballet, from Beethoven to blue-collar comedy, from opera to Oklahoma. Divas, rock stars, and Pensacola's children have all graced her stage. Jean Marie Jones, a 21-year veteran of the Saenger Theatre and everyone's favorite ticket taker, remembers visiting the Saenger as a college student to see the beautiful Dorothy Dandridge.
Because she was such a beautiful woman, and all of us wanted to see her. And at this time, like I say, segregation was definitely in. She was a top star, and she just gave us pride in knowing that one of us could be that far up in the movies.
Jean Marie also remembers the unpleasant experience of having to enter the theater from a segregated entrance.
There were shrubberies out to the sidewalk and the little billboards out there showing the coming attractions. As you would enter, we had to buy our tickets downstairs and enter by 31 steps to get upstairs.
Patrons who visit the Saenger Theatre for the first time or have returned many times say they all have fond memories of shows at Pensacola's Showplace.
There have been times I've said that I would love to have been born 1938 instead of 1958, and this takes us back. High quality, like those days.
For those who are new to Pensacola, the theater is a wonderful place to see the performing arts.
When you have a very good cast, that just really nails the performance and just draws you in, and you forget where you're at, and you're completely a part of you feel like you're a part of the performance, and you just walk out with that wow feeling.
A major renovation in 1995 brought the Saengers' lobby up to date. Now, at 82 years of age, this lady needs another facelift. As times have changed and shows have gotten larger, space has become a factor in what types of shows can play the Saenger.
We have to bring a truck in, we have to bring pods units for storage. It lengthens the intermissions for the scene shifts. It's difficult.
Larger casts also demand more dressing room space.
Dressing rooms could be a little enlarged and a little more comfortable, but they could be just a little bit more updated, as far as made a little more modernized.
Because the theater was built in the 1920s, the seating is cramped.
There needs to be more room for your legs and for your arms so that you're not bumping into your neighbor.
Those factors, in addition to a small orchestra pit, have led a grassroots committee to begin a massive renovation project scheduled for completion in early 2009. Plans call for an expanded stage and dressing rooms, a new entrance on Intendencia Street, a multi-use room, and more comfortable seating. Money for the renovation is coming from the local option sales tax, grants, and from private donations. The Friends of the Saenger has launched a fundraising campaign to help with the $15 million project. The Saenger Theatre is Pensacola's performing arts showplace.
I love how close the balcony is to the stage. It's not so far away, so if you end up in a balcony seat, you're not way out of the way. It's lovely.
This lady is certainly no sissy, but is truly a grande dame. She has withstood the trials and tests of time, and her future looks bright. She may be 82, but this elegant lady is just now hitting her prime.